folks here at Miami Community News for giving this opportunity to bring attention to residents' concerns and to the Coral Gables, to Coral Gables in my here in our South Florida area. I have with me an incredible person, a Gables resident, a historic member of our community, Ms. Mayra Joli, who has been not only a candidate for office in our local elections, but also has been, I think, a local celebrity. You have managed to insert yourself and to promote some good ideas and some incredible ideas all over South Florida and nationally. Even I think a true SNL character. I've never had that pleasure. Okay, so Mayra is also a Coral Gables resident. It is a wonderful person, and I've gotten to know her. And I'm very proud to have her here today. So please, Mayra, please introduce yourself.
I feel like getting up and then taking a bow. That was also nice. Thank you, Javier. Thank you. I've never been here. It's my first time, but there is a first time for everything, yes. Even to become a celebrity overnight. There's a first time. But the celebrity status doesn't mean anything if you don't do anything meaningful with it.
Correct.
And something that you believe on it, something that you can put your word on it, and you will take it cameras on and cameras off. And I'm glad that I'm here and I'm being checked.
It's wonderful. Well, I had an opportunity to speak with you and with your husband at your office about some of the concerns that worry you about the city of Coral Gables as a resident. If you could speak about some of those issues that are present now today and your feelings on it and what you think should be happening in the Gables that is not happening, or vice versa.
Yeah. Listen, the Gables, Coral Gables is one of the most beautiful neighborhood.
It is.
And I will say in the world.
Yes.
Because, you go to places and then you always feel like, oh, you're coming back to this nice little Coral Gables, city beautiful. And at least I've been living there for over 17 years now.
Okay.
And I always trust that the people that were taking care of the things will take care of their things. As we said, a good a father of a family. It's a rhetoric that people use as a sample of what it is to be a political or having a office in government, in every level of the government. It happens that little by little, when you insert yourself and you try to question one thing about something having to do with your community, and you feel like it's simple, and that it is a simple answer to it, it's just that you can see the answer to it. And then when you start digging, and more people get involved just to try to block you into obtaining that information. And then when you obtain the information, you don't find the answers. Everybody has a boilerplate response for you. The problem with me is that I only took one issue that I was concerned about because it shocked me when I saw it.
Right.
And it's the walkway. I keep talking about that walkway.
Can you teach us a little more about the walkway? You're talking about the walkway in front of City Hall?
In front of City Hall.
The one with all the little colors?
All those colors that for me, who I'm blind to art, let's say. For me, art, you put it in front of me and I have to see it and describe it. None of this abstract and none of that. And if you want to put it out there in your house, it's fine. But if you're going to take my money to buy an abstract that everybody have to take a workshop just to find out what it is, I'd rather spend the money or maybe ask people before you do it. So it happens that there was at one point during the Art Basel years ago, there was one exhibit called a micro something color. So they painted that walkway in front of the City Hall, in both walkways, in order to just attract people to the art that they were exhibiting at the museum right there in Coral Gables.
Right.
So when I asked about it, I was told that this was just a temporary thing, just to make, there was another mayor, I believe it was a lady, Swain.
No, that was his former city manager.
Well, city manager.
Kathy.
Okay. You see how much I knew about all of these things in City Hall? Nothing.
Right.
So happens that when I asked about that, she said it was just temporary, and they're gonna be taken away after the art week
Right.
go by. So it happens. It was like by January 31st, that thing is gonna be gone. Then I keep driving around, driving in my neighborhood, and I see not only the colors were still there on the walkway, but it were fading away. And I say, but when are you gonna paint it back the way it was, black and white?
Right.
I want, City Beautiful is very unique in the sense of there is tradition to it. It's like going to those I always say that old pair of jeans that no matter how many times you put it, you put it on, it's comfortable.
Right.
You feel like like home. No. And this lady tell me something about it's gonna fade away over time. They are not gonna paint it. That's it. Then all of a sudden I see that the colors were now the colors are still there and brighter.
Right.
Oh, and I discovered that, November 2019, we bought the rights to that artwork because that artist is so famous all over the world. I think he lived in France, London, Switzerland. He was from Venezuela. And according to the words that I found in the minutes that Alex Fowley has said, he would be disappointed if we don't have that art in our city. And I go, disappointed with my money? Wait a second. So I start digging and digging and digging. It happens that $180,000 were given to Diaz is his name, but he died by the time that this whole thing went about. So I went to somebody there, and the Diaz, $180,000 for the artwork. But then there was another hidden charges that we didn't see, that the city, is going to have to eat the maintenance of that little disappointment forever. So it is $180,000 a year plus that we're going to have to shed just to keep that thing painting. And then what I said is like, okay, I saw the initial $180,000 coming out of the city of Coral Gables.
Right.
Where is it? It's supposed to be coming out of some account called Art and Public Places account. Right. But then I keep asking, but if this check is coming out of our money, where is the refund to replenish that money? No. Oh, it's there. There's just the accounts are all together in the general account. And you tell me as a lawyer, I can even have a $410 money order for a work permit in my account for the firm. Right. Because if that money goes for fees, that money have to be separated. And I'm talking about an immigration attorney. Other attorneys, civil litigation attorneys, is even more strict. You can even bounce that a penny out of that account. So you tell me how the city is able to commingle with all the money. All the money is there. Everything is together, and eventually you're gonna separate the milk from the coffee. How are you gonna do that? After all of that, we'll back and forth and back and forth. Mm-hmm. I just say, yeah, okay. We, the city, the people who after almost a year, close to a year of back and forth and asking questions, all of them, the city manager, the commissioners, the city attorney, all of them came to a boilerplate saying like, oh no, the money was reimbursed. Nothing clear. And I just left it like that. But they know that I inquire about it. And the reason I start doing that is because you see those big floaty, I call it the transformers that are in the circle. Right. The floripondias, I don't know how to call those metal things.
You're talking about the big flowers in
the
the
big
middle.
One, yeah, yes. two of them. So we pay millions of dollars for that.
Right.
And that thing is like, it's going to rust over time, and we are going to have to front the bill to clean it up because we don't want to see that thing rusting in our faces. But City Beautiful Coral Gables is a city of natural beauty.
Right.
Why we have to center two transformers in the middle of our city?
I never thought anybody would call them transformers, but they actually look like something like that. You know, I was part of that of in those meetings, a part of that process. Part of what happened here is there was an interest, I think, of the part of the mayor to keep that particular art. Maybe he bought some art himself. Maybe his brother bought some art himself. But I think he really liked this particular person, and he wanted city money to promote the art. My problem with it, besides the fact that what you're bringing up, which is this financial issue, you know, we live in South Florida where we have a beating sun, okay, coming in and destroying bright colors.
Correct.
And even if the funds are coming from art in public places, then they're not necessarily city dollars. The maintenance of those properties, the maintenance of those pieces of art, the maintenance of those public displays, if you want to keep them, come from our city dollars.
Exactly.
And if you're going to be, it doesn't necessarily mean that art has to be one thing, like Coral Gables doesn't all have to be, Mediterranean revival, even though that's what we're known for. That's why we call the city beautiful. Or certainly sort of this modernistic, bright color art that we seem to now become fond of. It is very expensive to maintain. It's very expensive.
It's not that we
to put
became
forward.
fond of. It's like it got to the point that one gets tired of fighting. And then it's like, life has to continue on. It's not every time I pass. The shocking factor of months of passing by and seeing that monstrosity, eventually you just, blur out and becomes invisible. Otherwise, you will make it to your job just looking at that.
But I've seen you talk on many other issues other than this. More recently, you were present at the city commission on two issues: on the issue of the Wawa, and on the issue of downtown Miracle Mile, where we spent about $25 million in beautification of the mile.
Beautification of the mile and destroying little businesses.
And so, can you speak about that a little?
Yeah, and it's when you take one issue and then you start not trusting whatever other project, and you have to be looking everywhere just to make sure that the interest of the people who lives in this community is what people have in their first page of that booklet.
Right.
Not only going back to the promotional art, the city of Coral Gables made it a point through the mayor to promote the art of some artists that came from who knows where, who's not even a native, when we have so many grown artists in this town who are not given the opportunity. I'm not thinking about someone that just Johnny come lately. Somebody who lives in this community, who's a great artist, is a friend of ours. His name is Roach Bowles. And that opportunity is not given to people who don't have an in or influence. But the other thing is that once you see that you have to fight so much as just a regular person, then you see other projects just springing out, like if it was daisies in a field, and you start thinking, let me check whose interest is being pushed forward. When we are talking about having a gas station being put in front of a school, which very rightfully so and very articulate, those concerned citizens, because I don't have no dog in that fight. Right. My son doesn't go to Carver. My nephews have gone to Carver, and I know it's a very excellent school, but it's in a neighborhood that is declining. Right. So now you're going to put a Wawa, a gas station, but look at the detachment of some city leaders. And when Valdez Fowley has said that it's the same as when the Merrick Park, right, the shop of Merrick Park, it is the same effect.
As to Coral Gables High, right?
As to Coral Gables High. Think about it. What kind of comparison is that? Shop of Merrick Park is a high-end mall,
Right.
in which
Beautiful
no
place.
high schooler is gonna wander around trying to get a drink from where? From Bellagio?
Plus,
They're gonna
they will not be able to afford it.
they won't be able to afford it. So how can Valdez Valley compare Wawa to Carver,
Right.
like Merritt Park to Corgans High School? He said it was the same thing.
Right.
And after that, he said we have to shut this conversation because the lobbyists are here.
waiting
O
to
sea,
speak.
yeah, waiting to what I was gonna say, one of my usual. Me importa a mí que los lobbies estén, the lobbies are here. Here where? Do they live in Coral Gables?
Right.
Do they pay part of the salary of the commissioners that they have for the citizens or the residents of Coral Gables have to be shut down because the lobbies are here and they want to speak? Who else is looking at this? Because I feel like when you see those movies about zombies, and everybody, like Michael Jackson Thriller,
I know.
everybody is like zombieing out, and then they are pursuing the ones that have not been beaten yet. Right. Eventually, say like, just go ahead and beat me because I cannot be fighting all these monsters. Right. Eventually, you say that, and that's when people get so tired that for their commissioners and the people in power, they think like, okay, you see, we convinced them. No, we just got sick of it. We got tired of it. And every time it's like you turn on the light and all the roaches are there. Which one you're going to start stepping on first? And there's no interest. Every time that is, listen, Javier, you come and talk to us. You call us through friends that we have, right? So, and, the interest, I know you don't want to be able to be talking to everybody when, all the people are supporting you like that. But I take it to heart. When with one phone call that you made, not that I need for anybody to be calling me, but it shows I was running for office, right. And I felt like everybody, it was a person that I if that person gave me a little bit of attention, even if it was for the yard time, I felt like I have to contact that person.
Thank you.
Somehow. And you did it, but you didn't know who I was or if I was a person, no matter what my big mouth was. But it have to be something more concrete than the fact that I talk a lot. Right. If I am in a courtroom and I tell my client, I will talk, but I'd rather be polite because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. So just sit there and let it happen. And I will smile and wave to the judge and to the prosecutor. You see, my client is going to be happy by the fact that I'm just sitting and being pretty when I have to exercise all my vocal cords and defend them.
You got to fight for what you believe in.
I only have two speeds. Either I am off like the iron or I'm burning out of the clothes. So one of the two. So, and having somebody who wants to serve, it gets old. The whole thing about, because I feel for this community and I want to serve. But those people don't serve even when they are not serving. Right. They're serving themselves. So people like me who were already running for a position, right. I see all of the different faces of this. In the fake faces of I want to serve, I didn't see on you. I saw originality. I saw you in my parish. I saw you as a family, man, as a good padre de familia, father figure, because we need a father figure if we want to convey the fact that we want to take care of that community, which is like a family. So you have to trust that father is gonna do the right thing for everybody in the home, because not everybody in the home will be able to make decisions for everybody. So we will have a disaster. So these commissioners, these officials who want to serve, and at the end, there's no service. The service comes even if That's what you believe at that point. I don't care if it's good for me or not. Just stand by your guns and then keep in mind the black and white oath. Somebody have to make an oath
Right,
when
of course.
they take office. Nobody hears it, and they should make people memorize it because they repeat after me. I, say my name, say my name, say my name. They don't need, they go mechanically, just doing. It has to be more than just, oh, because I want to serve. I want to serve. I have this calling to serve. No, 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 no. When they come with that, forget it. Talking and just listen to what is, not only listen for having somebody vent like they do on those meetings for the city commission's
Right.
meetings.
That people
They are
just
letting the people talk and then saying, well, we listened to you. Yeah, but you did whatever the heck you wanted. They all, you went to
you
the other
completely
side.
ignore them. So look, I've been serving in boards and I've been part of communities for over 13 years. I've enjoyed, besides the fact that I enjoy the activist part of it. I think if you listen to folks who are in the everyday nitty gritty involved in the city, okay, if you worry about what they're looking at, why they feel that there is not enough service, I think you have better government. Okay, government needs to, the media, it's has all sorts of issues and self-interests and money involved in it, and we have lost the type of journalistic true oversight over what local officials are doing. And now you see a situation where these local officials, I mean, they're not necessarily bad people, but they're self-interested. Some of the folks that are running in these races, some of them don't own property in Coral Gables. Some of them,
That's another thing. Somebody who's
have
renting,
never who are renting in the city, who are 27 years old and haven't voted.
but
So
what the
and
thing,
it's because they're doing it for their own interests. They're
what
not
is
doing
the
it because they
the
care about
roots?
anybody else.
What is the roots? We people like us,
Right.
we have our not financial investment, our future, our families, our roots. We are planting because we want to create roots in this
course.
community. If somebody is renting in this community, if somebody just have an address in this community so they can say they can fulfill that requirement of living
Right.
in the community, and then they don't
It's
feel
not
like
just living
staying,
here. It's
they're not
being
gonna
here.
yeah they don't gonna they don't care about the community. They don't care about the fact that some people are throwing the remains of their dogs, walking their dogs, and they're not curbing
'cause
their dogs. They don't care about that because
Right.
they don't walk in this
They
community,
don't pay
and they're
taxes
not
here.
paying. They're not paying taxes, and they're not feeling. They don't see themselves when they're old walking in those streets.
That's
So 27 years old, come on, give me a break. No, absolutely no. And those are what is the interest? Oh, I want to bring what vibrancy to this country, to this community. This community has the vibrancy that it needs. Is the greenery, the lushness of the trees, and
Right.
and our streets so nice, and the sun when it shines through the trees and the blue
It's a
skies.
beautiful
We don't
place to
need
live.
more brightness. If whomever wants to make Coral Gables the next deco modern city, they can go to Doral, they can go to Weston, they can even go to Homestead.
Right.
Leave Coral Gables alone. Why you want to bring all kinds of high rises in Coral Gables? This, Coral Gables, they come back. You can read it in these magazines and this Política
It's
Contadito.
money. That's why they want to do it.
It's about money. What's the interest of having a Wawa,
Right.
a gas station, convenience store here, US one, in front of a school? What is the interest but money interest?
Right.
What will be the best interest of the community to having a gas station? What, the children will be able to go get gas in their vehicles, elementary school children, or what? They have a convenience store. They have a way of people, of bad actors hanging out in the corners. Us, the people of Coral Gables, are not going to be sitting in front of the Wawa convenience store. And some people are already saying that we, the snobbies of Coral Gables, don't want a Wawa in our neighborhood. I don't care about the neighborhood, or I don't care about the whole thing about Wawa. I care about what the commissioners are talking among themselves. Because if you see these Wawa agreements
Right.
were done in closed doors, and one of the requirements is like, okay, we're gonna do it like this. You promise me you're not gonna have any of those rafters from Coral Gables rafter. I put that rafter there, from Coral Gables coming to speak. How you take that, and any of the commissioners and the mayor and any of them can tell me, no, it wasn't me. I found it. My hands are tied. I hope it's not tied to the headboard.
The thing that I have, the issue that I have with it is, I don't think any of that is enforceable. Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
It is
okay?
not enforceable.
How can you
There's
tell?
nothing set in black and white. Nothing that is set in black and white. We're talking about things that were done, an agreement that was done, but they say, "Oh no, I didn't do." Since when these people are so much into the world?
We have laws in the books that essentially say that a lot of the public meetings have to be in the sunshine. They have to be expressed as matters of public interest.
Correct.
Clearly. So how is it that you can generally tell me that you're going to go back to a judge, and a judge will say, well, you put in this agreement that you were not going to have any public meetings about it, so therefore, all these other statutes, like clearly, yeah, as a lawyer, you would know that the statute really, would trump the agreement, because you can agree to do something that is against the statute, that is not legal. So chapter 260, I think 268 allows Florida on the sunshine, allows for public meetings. Chapter 119 talks about public records and things being on the record. I mean, they have, and part of the issue that I have with the way at least our present city attorney has handled the situation is that she may be meeting the letter of the law, but she's certainly not meeting the spirit of the law. Okay, the whole idea behind these things is to have enough sunshine, have enough light, have enough of the folks having enough ability to look at what has been done, and give this commissioners a sense that this has been done with public input, and it has been done in a way that the public is satisfied that it's in their best interest. And evidently, none of those things are in place. They got like 30 people who have maybe some financial interest in the whole affair to approve it, and they never asked a lot of the residents that are parents. They never asked people like you or me whether we want yet another gas station. I think Coral Gables has like 3 gas stations.
Yeah, and we're not running out of gas. We're not running out of gas.
Plus, it's something we don't want here, and we've traditionally not wanted here. So much so that we have made it very difficult for the gas station that's by the mile to actually stay in business, because it's one of the most expensive places to actually be able to be there. So why, if we have had this historical aversion to having this type of business in the city, all of a sudden now, sorry, we have to do this because we agreed in some agreement that, by the way, we got into.
Yeah.
No tenemos vela en este entierro, and then all of a sudden,
exactly,
we got into it.
Yeah,
I don't understand. So somebody somewhere is either doing something.
We have to follow that money. We have to follow the money. Now, all of a sudden, they are so subtle in the world. We gave them our word. Oh yeah, right? Since when? What about even if the people, because that's why we have them to look after us and look for our interests. Even if the people were not allowed to speak, they should have had the interest of us first, even if we were not there to speak, because we are not going to be there all the time. Eventually, they're going to have the little meetings, and we are not going to be able to get to be there. So where is the good father figure? What is it? It's a
hope to be there.
There you go. Because that is like, if you are speaking for your family, wife and children, mom and dad, they are not there, and they don't have the ability to be in that conversation. Will you agree for somebody that is there on the table to go and take the roof off your children and make sure you're not there, so you're not the one getting hammered? Will you agree to that? Something that's going to be prejudicial to you, to the people that trust you to talk on their behalf. Is that so difficult to ask that of the commissioner? Because we didn't volunteer for the job to be a commissioner or a public official. We trusted them. We're going to trust you to be there when we are not there. And whatever you decide, we are going to be confident that what you did is in the best interest of me. But if the best interest of me that you sold my soul to a butcher, so he's coming to claim his meat.
Right.
How are you gonna say that was in my best interest? You did it because the butcher gave you some money or something in return. Because you can't say that was, no, it's for your best interest, Mayra. Don't worry. It's not going to be painful. You're just going to die, but it's going to be good. You'll see. I'll see you in the supermarket.
A lot of folks are I think, they may be, if they didn't get, I don't think a lot of them will get a direct payment, but maybe I'm wrong. But certainly they're positioning themselves for the next stage in their lives. And this is just a rung in the ladder. Okay. And they believe that they need to have certain friends and certain influences and certain things that would allow them to advance.
Well, but you know what happened? The best advertising, the best support that any community leader or person who is for office, the best advertising they can have is themselves and their words.
That's true.
The fact that people say, you know what, that guy, you see like that, but it's unbreakable. When he said what he's doing and what he's doing, if you check his record, is always for the best interest of maybe not everybody, but the community as a whole.
And I so agree with that. I think, your actions speak much louder than your words.
Correct.
And if you have had a history of really caring for people, caring for the things that are important to you in the sense of that are things that are in the broader community, I think that's exactly what you needed in a commission, right?
Absolutely.
Next rung in the ladder, be damned. Whatever your aspirations, I think if you're going to serve the here and now. Okay?
Serve the here and now. That's the service.
And address the problems you have. You have 4 years at best, I think, if you're a commissioner. You have 2 years if you're mayor. If you cannot manage to do what you think you can do in that term, but you think you can influence it, maybe another 4 years. Mm-hmm. If not, then go on to do something else in your life.
Yeah, something else in your private life.
And your private life.
It's not fair that we the people have to we're gonna have to pay your way all the way to retirement. Why we are the ones that have to be
I wholeheartedly agree.
burden.
Look, this has to be something that first you gotta have, if you're gonna do it, okay, and this because you ran for office, you gotta have a passion for it. You gotta do it for a reason, okay, and the reason has to be for something that is greater than yourself.
Exactly. The reason can be, I'm gonna run for this office so I can build what I needed to build so nobody bothers me. I'm going to run for office so that way we can change all the schools so the school accept my kid mandatory.
Right.
I'm going to run because I want to wear green every 25th of December. So I'm going to run for office because I know what it is not to wear green. I'm going to run for office because I want every child to go to any bathroom they want. What kind of passion is that?
Right.
When it's something that have to be besides yourself, something that's going to benefit you, because of course you're not going to be running so people can be throwing darts at you. Something that's going to benefit you.
You know how that feels.
Oh my God. That benefit you, but going to benefit you as a member of that community, as a family man. If it's benefiting you as a member of the community, family man, it will benefit everybody who lives in the community. It's a family-oriented person. How is the commission going to tell the residents that Coral Way, Miracle Mile, needs more high rises?
Right.
When the commission decided that they are going to beautify the beautification of Miracle Mile.
Right.
All right. I mean, it's not that I was involved in it. I didn't even know. I just knew that was happening when it was happening, and they were lifting up all the bricks and then put a new one.
And it came out very nice.
Yeah.
But it also eliminated parking and, killed a few businesses along the way. So, sometimes
killed a few businesses on the way. Many businesses, and that's one thing. The rent in Coral Gables for businesses is not cheap.
Right.
This zip code has a reputation, and that reputation we all want it to continue, but that reputation continues with our money. So why are we gonna put more high rises in Miracle Mile? Who has the bright idea that's gonna be needed because we need more businesses,
Right.
we need more buildings. Whose idea was that? Because we need more residents of Coral Gables to have jobs, and those people are going to be hiring the residents of Coral Gables. Who's coming up with that answer?
Plus, it's going to bring more traffic to the areas
More
around
traffic?
it. Look, if it is, I think if it is the right answer because they have looked into it and they have determined that this is the right answer, and we can modify the periphery of it. Okay, I mean we can look into some, but they haven't done any of that.
It can
They have just decided. Okay, well, this will be a good idea as a broad change of the zoning code, which is not the agreement. But I want to continue talking to you for a long time, but I think we have some time limitations.
Caramba.
But I want to thank you for being here today because you have a unique way of bringing a passion to just a plain old conversation that is quite something.
I know what you mean.
And what this community needs, and I think it's more folks like you that are worried about the daily. Yes, sometimes it's mundane, but it's the mundane things that affect our future and quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to serve. At least I hope to be able to serve in that capacity. Come in April when the election takes place. But more importantly, if I've done nothing else, I brought some attention to the things that I think a lot of folks need to look into, and I think that is in of itself is a laudable goal. But I want to give you the floor for the final remarks, and then we'll close it out.
Well, Javier, let me tell you, you got me a hello. You got me a hello. But this thing about endorsing it's becoming like an Oreo cookie, let's say. Oh, endorse me. They go to endorsement here, endorsement there. And I said, but how can you endorse somebody if you don't? It's like for what somebody else said. Well, Javier, have seen you in church. Oh my God, didn't know you were running. Just I like when I see families, cool families. I like it. I like it. I just I'm always in church and the church, not always when it's necessary. I'm not okay. So I feel like I was talking to Papa, my husband, Stephen Befera. Shout out. I was talking to Papa and say, Papa, isn't that cool? Is that so difficult? Look how fresh, how nice, and how that conversation and all of that. It's like he doesn't have to say anymore. That is what somebody that I want to trust, and I don't want to have a check mark and say like, remember, I support. No, right. I support you, and you take it away. You don't have to support me because for you to support me, you have to believe in me. Right. And I'm the one who believes in you. That's why I'm supporting you. So that's not that in the next phase that I'm not running for anything. But in the next phase, you don't have to support me because I will have to prove to you that you can trust me. Right. That's one of the senses that I want people to know. When you endorse someone, that endorsement doesn't come with a price tag. You endorse the people because you believe in it. You believe that he can do the job. I don't know what the job is, but the job is to take the interest of the people, the community, have it first. Whatever you decide, I go for it. So you have my vote. And believe me, talking about it is not going to be something that you're going to have to say, Mayra, can you talk? You're going to say, Mayra, just shut up.
Anyway, well, wonderful show with you, Mayra Joli, and I really appreciate your presence here and to bringing attention to the issue. So this is Javier Banos, Community News, with one of the most vibrant guests we've ever had, Mayra Joli in Community News. Thank you very much for your presence.